In the previous video, we talked about some of the major ways that Funko has screwed up in 2023. They screwed up so much that they have driven away a ton of fans. And this particular one, the biggest one I consider it the biggest issue of the year for Funko. I think it deterred a lot of people. And turd is what we should be really focusing on here because Funko has become a big turd.
You're right.
But they deterred a lot of people, us specifically, with their firings and layoffs. And believe it or not, that happened this year. I thought about it. I thought that was like last year. But it turns out that was one of the many problems of 2023. One of our friends reached out to us and let us know that they had a connect at Funko. And they sort of gave us like all this information about firings, layoffs, and people walking out.
Yeah. So one day, a friend contacted me and was like, hey, I've got some huge news. And I was like, okay, what's up? And they were like, I'm going to call you. I'm like, okay, can Chris hear it? And they were like, oh, Chris wants to hear this. So I was like, okay. So what was it? Facebook video chat?
Yeah, video chat over Messenger.
When they told us what happened and who was let go and who walked out.
Yeah.
We were just like, what?
Yeah, we had no idea that something this big could happen because a lot of the people who were laid off or let go or walked out were people who were huge at Funko. Like huge names. And they were names that we pretty much thought that Funko sort of, I don't know, they did well because of these people, right? That's kind of what made Funko a big, well-branded name, was that they had these really great artists in place doing really big things for them. Oh. So super surprised that they had let them go, fired them, whatever you want to call it. And one person actually walked out. When this news hit us, we weren't entirely sure what to do with it because we didn't see this news come up anywhere. And I remember the night that we received it, I was editing a video, one of our many videos, and this news came through this messenger chat, and I looked at Heather thinking, should we like make this the video for tonight or should we make it for later in the week? Like, what do we do with this news? And I remember you said, you know what? Just do tonight's video and then we'll post a video tomorrow. I'm pretty sure no one has this information. We woke up the next day, and that entire day I remember being highly vigilant on social media just to see if anybody said anything, and no one said an absolute word. Nothing. There was nothing said. So I realized that we had a piece of news that no one else had. So that very next day is when we produced that like video and we put it out there, and we got a ridiculous amount of views on it. People were commenting left and right. A lot of people were questioning if it actually happened or if it's real, and by now we all know that it actually happened and it's real. But there was a lot of like speculation going on and what's happening, and the people that are fired, does it really matter? There's a lot of question marks. And I think after that happening, Funko sort of going the way that it has this year and gone sort of like to crap, I think it's proof that whatever happened really screwed everything up. Losing those people screwed up everything.
It really did.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like there's no going back now. So one thing I'm really proud of, that's a really depressing thing, and it definitely hit me, like, it hit me in the feels, like really big.
It was super, super messed up. And the reason it really hit me is because some of those names you knew, but like you didn't know, right? Like you knew who they were, but you didn't often see them or hear about them. One name that really stood out to us was Reese.
Yeah, Reese O'Brien.
Because we love Tiny Ghost, Bim Toy and Tiny Ghost, and he works on those. That's like his side project from Funko, or was his side project. Now, you know, I mean, he's Bim Toying it up.
No, not Bim Toy. It's Tiny Ghost.
Tiny Ghosting it up.
Bim Toy
is gone.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tiny Ghost.
Tiny Ghost.
On Fugitive Toys.
He's Tiny Ghosting it up.
Yes.
But I specifically remember him at Fright Night last year showing off all of the new Boo Hollow stuff, which is his design.
Yeah.
that we loved and a lot of people absolutely loved. They're the cutesy Halloween themed little figurines.
And I mentioned it many times that that was literally the only thing that kept me on board with Funko. Personally, like collect-wise, like I like the Freddy Funkos dressed as different things, but specifically Boo Hollow and all the stuff that Reese was producing at Funko, that was what I really liked.
Yeah, Boo Hollow was amazing. But when that news hit, I just remember being at Fright Night and seeing him so excited. And then all of a sudden, a few months later, it was just like, oh, hey, screw you.
Well,
you know, that's basically what Funko said.
Reese himself said he went up on stage to deliver all that information about all this upcoming stuff, knowing full and well it was never going to come out.
I heard that, no, he didn't know that at the time. Funko did.
Oh.
I believe that's what he said.
He did a live where he said he knew. That he went out. That I watched it.
I don't think that he knew that.
I believe he did.
No, I think he said that Funko.
Well,
I mean,
whatever
we
the
could
case
sit
may
here
be.
and argue
yeah, we
all
can go back
day.
and forth, but whatever the case may be, it never happened. So
Yeah.
that's the really sad part of it,
Yeah,
is that it
it's
didn't happen
horrible.
because all of that Boo Hollow stuff looked really great. I was super stoked over the fact, I mean, that was sad news, but super stoked that we were able to help some of the artists out there.
Mm-hmm.
That was one really good thing that came from all of this, is in the fact that we were able to help, I know for a fact, one person, for sure. We're able to help one person find a new job. They ended up going and working for Figpin, which I thought was the greatest story to come from all of this.
Yeah.
Is that we talked about this entire story about how artists were reaching out to us directly, about how they were impacted by all this. A lot of artists coming to us saying, thank you for speaking, you know, sort of being like the vocal box for us and advocating for us.
Well, someone actually walked up to us at New York Comic Con and thanked us personally. And
Yeah.
that blew my mind. I couldn't believe that, you know, we got all these very sweet messages and emails, but someone saying that to us face to face was like different in a way. It felt more personal, even though the emails were all very well crafted too. It's just different when you're like in front of somebody.
I agree. Yeah, that was kind of overwhelming, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so happy to hear that. But
Yeah.
overwhelming when somebody comes to you face to face and tells you something like that.
Yeah.
But the other person who we helped, like through video, Figpin reached out to us directly. And they said, we want to know who this artist is that you're talking about in your videos, because we mentioned the artist and we said, here's what the artist does and so on and so forth. We didn't give any details about them specifically because we don't want any malice, I guess, from Funko or whomever. So we ended up connecting Figpin with that artist, and since Figpin actually hired them and they work there now, and apparently everything is going really well for them. So that's one really good thing that came out of all of this. If nothing else, by us talking about it on this channel, I like knowing that we were able to help somebody. Like, to me, that's a really big deal. You don't hear about this. Like, when you watch YouTube channels talking about Funko and all that kind of stuff, they're doing, like, unboxings, right? They're kind of doing that kind of a thing. But not necessarily being directly connected to Funko, sort of underground. Like, a lot of people who are connected to Funko via social media, you see them in, like, little bits from Funko. And they're talking about things, and they're unboxing things, they're doing all this stuff. But here we are, a little old Gastlecast, working behind the scenes, helping former Funko artists, like, find a new way, or like help them have a new connection or something. I think that's awesome. It's just so, to me, it's like, I can't fathom that we are a part of that. Like, that's so friggin' cool.
Yeah, it's weird though. Like, I never thought.
Who knew that we would have that kind of power?
Reach.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah,
it's really crazy.
Well, not only that, but we've had a couple of designs for our own figures. We've freelanced, or hired some freelance.
We have
from former Funko artists, 2 former Funko artists. One of them you've seen. But we have a lot of upcoming projects coming from...
Actually 3, right? We have 2 3D modelers, and we have one that did plush.
Yes, you're right. I completely... Yeah, I was thinking molds.
Yeah.
But yes, a former Funko artist did design our Ghastly plush.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. So, I mean, I'm not that we're able to hire somebody full-time to do designs, because we're, you know, a little tiny toy company who has to reuse our molds right now quite a bit. But it's nice to know that we're able to help them in that way as well.
Yeah, I think that's great. Having that sort of connectivity, that's a positive side of bad things that happened this year with Funko. But I think that firing, layoff, that whole scenario, that very dark period was really bad. And we were hearing all these stories on the inside, which we were putting in the video and explaining to you guys in ways that were explained to us. So people were, or artists were talking about the work kind of environment and stuff, and how bad it was, and how they had to work long hours, and they were almost forced to do that, otherwise they'd get let go. Like, there's a lot of really ugly things going on the inside, and I would imagine that not much has changed. I bet you it's the same right now. It hasn't changed, and that's really sad. Funko, from that point, sort of just really dipped and crashed. But I do want to end this video on our final takeaway from this year of how things have gotten bad. And we've talked about it time and time again, and we're just going to lightly touch upon it. But it's the whole NFT thing. The whole NFT thing has been a mess, and we've discussed how Funko Pops come to us damaged, Funko Pops get lost in the mail from the NFTs, and also the $30 credit that you get in return for all of these issues. And we have advocated that, you know, for the people who have lost or damaged Funko Pops and have been getting this $30 credit, it's such crap. And we absolutely hate that. And I know that there have been people who have sort of just said, it's NFTs are stupid. NFTs are dumb. You're stupid if you buy them. Why are you complaining about it? And then you have other people who are like, well, Funko is dead, is dying, and who cares? And this is what you expect from them, and so on and so forth. They're still a business. Nothing has changed. They're still a business. They're still wanting customers like us to buy from them. They want us to buy their NFTs. They want us to collect all of the NFT Funko Pops, so on and so forth. Nothing has changed there. That's all the same. So Heather's looking stoically, but again, but the thing is that they need to fix all of these issues, specifically the NFT thing. The NFT thing is such a huge problem, and that was making them a ton of money. It still is. It's still making them a ton of money, but I am noticing that with every drop, it's like they're burning more and more packs. So if they don't sell all their packs, they have to burn them. And they're selling more, or they're burning more and more and more and more.
Meaning they're selling less and less and less. Right.
And it's not going anywhere. And you could blame that whatever collection they come out with, like the Mickey one that recently came out, that was a really poor, I guess, lineup. People didn't really care so much about the lineup. Me specifically, I didn't care about it at all. But I think that even if it were a great lineup, like a Freddy Funko lineup, I think people are just getting straight up tired of this stuff. I think they're getting tired of it. I think that they know that there are too many issues. And what if I spend my money on the secondary market to get a token from somebody and then redeem it, and I bought it for $150, and when I redeem it, the Funko Pop never makes it to me, or it gets damaged, and Drop and Funko are saying, hey, here's a $30 credit.
Yeah.
Waste of money. It totally makes you not want to ever do it again.
I still don't understand why they're giving you a $30 credit to digital.funko.com if you purchase that NFT on the secondary market.
Because that's basically,
make any sense.
They're basically saying, this is what we'll do for you.
Yeah.
We already took all your money. We get your money through, you know, when you sell on Atomic Hub, they're making money off of that.
I know.
They're making a percentage.
Yeah, the system is very, very flawed, and with all
feels
of
rigged.
those, yeah,
it's almost like going to a casino.
Yeah,
is what it's like.
Yeah,
right. The house is always going to win, and that's sort of what is happening with Drop and Funko. They're always going to win. We're always going to lose. Enjoy your $30 credit because that's all we're giving you.
Yeah,
that's garbage.
Yeah. And it seems like they pick and choose, like, when they're going to send somebody what's owed. Because sometimes, you know, we'll say these things, and they'll say, oh, well, you know, mine got lost in the mail or heavily damaged, but they're replacing it for me. They're sending me a new one. And it's like, okay, well, why do you get a new one, but then that guy over there, he gets a $30 credit?
Right, exactly.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's garbage. It makes no sense. In fact, when we went to New York Comic Con in 2022, we actually met with a Funko NFT guy. And he was a really sweet person. And we talked to him. It's actually in our Making Mischief New York Comic Con 2022 video. He was telling us like, hey, your content's really great. And, you know, you're going to do a really, you know, you guys are doing big things for Funko NFT. Because at the time, we were making videos trying to teach people how to do it. We were talking about different, you know, card pack openings. We're trying to make it fun and entertaining. Maybe get other people in it. And I feel bad now that we got people to buy card pack. I'm sure we influenced people to buy card packs, and I feel bad about it now because of all the issues that they're facing.
We shouldn't, because we helped people understand something that was not explained very well by the people who create it, and people would do it anyway.
I agree.
They would just have been less educated doing it.
I agree. I just feel bad about it because, you know, now that it's all played out the way that it has and people are getting $30 credit, oh my God. Like, had I known that that would be the end game to all this.
There's nothing that we could have done, though. You expect that if you're told something, it's going to happen.
I know. It sucks, though. Big time.
But it doesn't. And that's not on us. That's on Funko and Drop for not fulfilling what they should be fulfilling properly.
Anyway, what I was getting at is that the person that we talked to in that video has since been let go from Funko.
Yep.
So all the people that we had all these great connections with, we were trying to do really cool things with, it's like all gone. Like, looking back at this year, the Funko is just a completely different company. It's faceless. That's probably the best word to use. It used to be that you knew the faces there, and they were all fun, and they would release photos or little clips of people that you know, like, oh, Reese O'Brien, right? You know, all these different guys, the Butcher guy, Ben Butcher. You would see him, oh, look, it's Ben Butcher. And they would have these little, like, segments and stuff, and it was fun. You got to get to know the people at Funko. It's hollow now. It's faceless. You don't know who it is. It's all corporate. What it is gross. It feels gross now.
Yeah, they don't even have puppets as the face anymore.
No,
that was like 3 videos and then they're done.
No, although we had mentioned that if Funko was going to do social media, they should reach out to people that make sense, like influencers, you know, Top Pops as an example. And Top Pops has been making his face known on Funko recently. We've seen him on a couple different things, which I think is really great. But Funko has to do, something's got to happen. I don't know what else it is, right? I don't know what else they can do is, I guess, my point. I don't know what else they can do. And make it less faceless. It's gross.
Oh,
it makes me want to throw up.
Listen, we have all the answers. Funko just doesn't listen anymore.
I don't know if we have all the answers.
We have a lot of answers.
I love saying that, but...
Stop overproducing.
True.
Protect your NFT Funko Pops.
Right.
On the subject of overproducing, overproduce the NFT Funko Pops, so that way when things go south with people's orders, you have something to send them, right? And
don't let go of your talent.
Yeah.
Make sure you have your talented people.
Also, if you do produce more than what you should of the NFT Funko Pops, don't release them for $15 at the warehouse. Like, just get rid of them. Like, destroy them completely. I mean, I don't really know what else to say.
Bottom line, do better, Funko.
Yeah,
do
Funko.
Better. Remember years ago when we started this whole thing and we were doing the channel for the first time, and I opened that box. You know, the very first video was like Marvel Collector Core winning, actually. And I won my stuff, and I was like, oh my God, I love this. It's so great. And I was so excited. I remember I went back and watched that video because we reposted it recently while we were away on vacation. And when I went back and watched that video, I saw my face when I opened the box and it was a Thanos XL Dorbs. Believe it or not, at one point in time, everybody was going crazy over Dorbs like me. And I pulled it out, or maybe I was the only one. I pulled it out of the box and I was super excited. The funny thing about it is I don't remember that being that excited about a Funko product, at least for over maybe a year or so.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't feel like I've had that kind of excitement. And I feel like this year, I think it was April timeframe, is when this whole firing, let go sort of thing started to happen. And that's when everything started falling apart. It was right around the time, because I remember this, right around the time Ant-Man, the new Ant-Man film came out, Quantumania.
Oh,
it was right around that time because we went to see it in the theater. And I remember all this stuff was going on right around that time.
Yeah.
It's been ugly. It's been a very ugly year for Funko. And I don't know necessarily what they can do to get back up. As I mentioned, I feel like they're already kind of down on the ground. They're down for the count. And I don't know who's going to be able to bring them back up and make things better. I hope they can get somebody in the leadership role to take things off again and to get us all excited again and to bring in some masterful, I'm sure there's talent over there, but bring in some talent or have your talent as your centerpiece and make sure we know your talent. I don't know.
Well,
like, do something special.
The problem is there's too many stipulations on what they can and cannot do. The artists used to have more, they were able to be a bit more creative. Now, we've heard the workplace being described as basically like a conveyor belt where they just pump stuff out. You're doing the same stuff.
And we can see it as consumers too. We can look at the shelves and tell that that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I mean, even as far as the artwork on boxes, if you compare the artwork on an older box and a newer box, it's very clear. Go take a look at your collection right now.
And even the boxes, like, their strength.
Oh my gosh.
There's some boxes
we could
that
go
are
on
like,
all night.
Oh, yeah. I mean, everything's going downhill. But yeah, you're right, Heather. But that's I think the worst things that's happened in the previous video and this video. Those are the worst things about Funko this year. The worst things that's happened over at Funko this year. It's been pretty bad. And we want to see things improve. We say that all the time. I say it. I'm trying to put it into the ether so things do change, but I don't think they ever will. But now is the time that we want to thank our patrons from Patreon because you guys are amazing and we love you. And we appreciate all of your support. It means the world to both Heather and I. And in every video, we like to shout out to some of our patrons. Jason Snowbarger, Amy Richmond, Denver Bow, Adam Rubin, Stationary Wanderer, Brian Spears, Mark Wright, Veronica Knotts, Harley Malk, and Donald Lomax. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. We appreciate all of our patrons. You guys are amazing and we love you. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, the like button, and that little bell, go ahead and do so now. Hit that like button so hard, I can feel it in my face. It's like you're hitting me in my face with that like. And hit the little bell, that way you'll know anytime we go live or post brand new content. You don't want to miss our new content. We like to have a lot of fun here. So come and have fun with us, wouldn't ya? Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Gastlecast to find out all the ways that you can support this lovely channel as we grow and grow and grow. In return, we do a live video Zoom call every single month where we do giveaways, we hang out, and we also show you early Mischief Toys concepts or just a sneak peek at something that's about to come out. So, check it out, patreon.com/Gastlecast. Thank you guys, we appreciate you, we love you, and we're coming toward the end of 2023, but we got a little bit more coming your way before the year's over. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.